Welcome to The Blind Mole. I'm Mole.
And I'm Joby.
And today we're talking about two scores. We're talking about The Last Jedi Episode 8 score and the movie score on Rotten Tomatoes. The Last Jedi right now is sporting a 50% audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes, but a critic rating of 90%. So there is a huge disconnect, and we're going to get into it a little bit. I know we talk mostly about music. We're going to get into the score as well, but I want to ask Joe, because he is a Star Wars crazy man, even more than myself. What is the deal? Why is there a petition going around the internet right now for this movie to be removed from Star Wars canon?
It's really hard to boil down to just one thing, but I really feel those that are signing the petition were absolutely married to the thought of Luke Skywalker as this specific archetype of Jedi, of which the expectation was not met in the film. My personal feelings is Luke's a human, and he's a disillusioned Jedi Master alone on an island with a bunch of weird fish ladies, so he's gonna be a little weird.
They were weird.
Wait, wasn't Yoda on Dagobah all by himself? Wait, wasn't Obi-Wan on Tatooine all by himself? Oh my gosh, it's like a trending Jedi theme or something, right? So, I think a lot of fans just want Luke Skywalker to be the man, that he'll be the one to save the day, that he'll be the one to take down the First Order. And that's not what happened. Another reason why the film might be so polarizing, I think, is some of the gender relations in the film, in that all the female characters were very empowered, which is great, but a lot of the masculine characters were kind of emasculated. Finn was unsure of himself, and he didn't really add to the story, or he wasn't hero of the day. Luke kind of was sensitive, and reactionary and defensive of his past. Poe Dameron, who's kind of like, the hot-headed pilot just being stupid, or leading, or what did Leia say to him? Like, you got to get your head out of the cockpit, son, like something like that, right? That all these male characters were just kind of not really doing very meaningful things in the film, it seemed like. So another reason why the film could be so divisive among audience members and fans, which is a reason why I actually love it, but some people might not, is that the Force is super mystical in this film. Leia, she uses the Force to save herself from the vacuum of space and flies back into the ship, right? I thought, adios, this is the best farewell, Star Wars could have given to Carrie Fisher and Princess Leia, the character. How do you explain that? Well, we're not explaining it with midi-chlorians, it's just the Force, and you can't explain it. Other than that, it's a mystical binding force that surrounds us all, and it's in everything, and now we know it can save you from the vacuum of space, which is pretty cool. Interesting
what baggage a Star Wars movie would have. As a standalone film, these critics are looking at it and saying, that was an amazing movie. Yeah. Had an interesting plot, interesting characters. It was hard to tell where it was going. The light speed jump was obviously an awesome element of the movie, but yet the audience rejected it. The score is very similar, in my opinion. As far as Episode 8 is concerned, it would have been better to go with a new composer. And that is just from listening to Episode 8 and hearing basically a regurgitation of a bunch of great Star Wars tracks, but recycled tracks nonetheless. The only two I would highlight, perhaps, would be the Octo Island track, just the very beginning, just a gorgeous little melody he puts there. And then there's also a theme you hear in The Rebellion is Reborn. Right at the beginning, the theme you kind of hear that usually happens when Rose and Finn are on screen, kind of carrying their story. It's really the only new theme I heard throughout the movie. And then it's just a bunch of great old tracks. You hear Princess Leia's theme, you hear Luke's theme, obviously. The Force theme is prevalent throughout, and it's such a fantastic theme. perhaps the greatest movie theme of all time. You might put the Rings theme from Lord of the Rings up there, but other than that, I don't think there's a better theme than the Force theme. So it's nice to be able to hear those themes, but it would have been nicer to hear new stuff. I still think Giacchino would have been a better choice. But what do you guys think? I mean, do you agree with me? Do you agree with Joe? Did you like Star Wars? Did you come out of that movie thinking that was awesome? Or did you come out of that movie saying, where can I sign?
Thanks for joining us on The Blind Mole. I'm Joby.
I'm Mole, and next week we're going to be talking about the greatest motion picture studio of all time.